a woman whose name needs no introduction, two-time Olympic judoka gold medalist, two-time PFL champion, and one of the hottest free agents on the MMA market, Kayla Harrison. Good to sit down and chat. How are things with you?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm just got back from Vegas, actually, from some business talks. So yeah, life is good.
I know it's been well documented, and you've had multiple media interviews. I've seen you on MMA Junkie, MMA Fighting, that the negotiations are going on with different organizations. But how much were the negotiations altered or perhaps in jeopardy, if you like, with Saturday's result and Nunes getting beat?
I don't think they're in jeopardy at all. I think that Amanda kind of said it best. My career is my career. Her career is hers. Obviously, the world would like to see two titans clash at the height of their, when they're in their prime. But I think that I'm going to be great wherever I go, whatever I do. I firmly believe that. I believe in myself, and I know that everything happens for a reason. So, my trajectory doesn't change. My goal doesn't change. Nothing changes because of this. My heart just hurts for Amanda, because the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat is a real thing. And, she's my teammate. She's my friend. She's a good person. She's a great champion. So my heart just hurts for her right now. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it. It's a tough weekend for ATT. I feel emotionally hungover from this week. We had a hard go this weekend. So, especially
considering that ATT won the World MMA Awards for Best Gym, it seems a little bit perplexing that then, as you mentioned, quite a difficult week for the gym.
Yeah, it was just a bad end of the year, to be honest, with Kyoji getting knocked out, Dustin losing, Amanda losing, Pedro losing, Ponzinibbio losing. It was a shitty end of the year, to be honest. So, but that's the sport, right? That's why we watch it. That's why it's beautiful. That's why we love it, because at the end of the day, everybody's got a chance. That's why you get in there and you put the fights on. My heart breaks. My heart breaks for all my teammates, because I know how hard they work. I know how much effort they put in. I know how badly they want to win and deserve to win. And winning doesn't care, though, does it? Sometimes you can be the hardest worker in the room. Sometimes you can have all of the tools. Sometimes you can deserve it, and you still lose. That's what happens sometimes. So I think that's also why you can't take this shit too seriously. Like, you can't. At the end of the day, yeah, this is what I do. This is what I love. This is what all of us do and love. But it doesn't define who I am as a person. It's a piece of me. It's a big piece of me. But it's not. It doesn't define who I am as a person. If I win, if I lose, whatever happens in there, my character doesn't change. My morals don't change. My value doesn't change based on winning or losing a fight.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. I've been interviewing fighters for the last. It was my anniversary a couple of weeks ago for 1 year. I think that's one thing that I've really learned is that you guys, people associate you with the time in the cage. But yeah, when you actually think about it, you fought 4 times this year. You were only scheduled for an hour and 10 minutes of competition. You guys are so much more out of the cage that it's it can be such a perplexing thing, because your character and your outside outward perspective that people have of you is so different from the people that you actually are.
Yeah, I think, if someone who works a 9 to 5 gets fired or something, no one's like, oh, you're a terrible person because you got fired. Like, shit, stuff happens. But it is, that's one of the sacrifices of daring to be great. I think, when you do an entertainment or a sport for a living, when you decide to live your dreams out loud in front of people, when you dare to be vulnerable like that and be great, part of that is you're gonna be judged. You're gonna be judged and ridiculed and mocked, and you're also gonna be cheered and and lifted up and raised up. So you have to take the good with the bad. I mean, I wouldn't trade my life for anything. I can't imagine working a 9 to 5. I can't imagine waking up every day and living the same life. I can't imagine never chasing my dreams and just kind of being satisfied with whatever happens. Like I don't even know what that life would, I can't even, it makes me sick to my stomach to even think about it. That's probably my greatest fear, is to live a mediocre life, or to live a life of complacency, so that's part of the package. That's what you sign up for when you sign up to be a fighter. But I mean, I guess what's what you sign up for when you just sign up to be great. You're gonna people are gonna talk. It is what it is.
Look, the thing about being great, or the thing about greatness in sport or in any field, is that there's only a limited amount. There's only probably single to very, very low double digits, and that's the point. If everybody was great, then it wouldn't be great, for lack of a better phrase.
Right. If everybody was great, then nobody would give a shit, for sure. That's why it's and that's why my life is so awesome. That's why my life is so exciting and fulfilling and peaceful and chaotic. It's all of these things. It's an oxymoron, my life, but I can't imagine it any other way. And I'm gonna keep chasing it and keep doing it and keep living out loud. Just keep living out loud.
You mentioned then that the collision course that perhaps people feel like you and Amanda are on, these two titans. But as you mentioned there, and I think a lot of people underplay and sometimes forget, is you are teammates. So what is the relationship like between you and Amanda? And is there, perhaps before Saturday, was there an understanding that this fight was perhaps on the cards?
Well, we have a great relationship. We go to our kids' birthday parties. Nina and Amanda are two of my favorite people at the gym. I think that we train together really well. When we train, I've been blessed a couple times in my life to have the best, in my opinion, the best possible training partners for me in my career, such as Rhonda, now Amanda. I've been really lucky and blessed to have that. And of course, when I train with all my other training partners, I'm getting better, but there's something about being with the very best in the world. Like it just like rubs off on you or something, and we both like to work hard. We both like to no bullshit when we're in there. We just get in there, we work hard, we do what we're told, and make sure we get the most out of every workout. So it's always been a pleasure. It's always been great for me. It's been nothing but a joy. And we had talked about it, Nina and I and Amanda had basically, listen, if it happens, it happens. And, this is business, and, hopefully we both make a shit ton of money from it and do it with the utmost respect and show people how martial arts can and should be. But it wasn't really something that we like talked about a lot or thought about a lot. I didn't anyways. Like we weren't even in the same promotion at the time. We weren't even in the same weight class at the time. And this is something that people have been kind of whispering about since the very beginning of my career, since early on. And I knew that I wasn't ready and just wasn't at that point yet. So it wasn't really anything with urgency that we were like, oh man, we need to probably sit down and deal with this and figure out what we're going to do. Cause it was like, if it happens, it happens, and we'll go from there.
Presumably there's going to be a rematch with Pena and Nunes. Obviously I mentioned the negotiations earlier, which is a separate topic, but does that change your in a perspective of where you want to move next in terms of organizations? Because obviously there might be a bit of delay with getting to the top of the division.
I mean, my first thoughts when that happened was, can I make 135 so I can beat Julianna's ass? No, I again haven't made any decisions. Haven't really. I don't think it's gonna. I mean, right now I'm in a great position. I've done my job. I've won in dominant fashion. I've talked a little bit of that shit. I've gotten people's attention. I've been successful, and now it's their job. I'm very happy with the PFL. I love it there. I'm happy with the organization. I love the format. I believe in the format. I believe it's the future of MMA. I have nothing bad to say about the PFL. The UFC and Bellator are both amazing organizations that each have something different to offer. so now it's their job to kind of tell me why I should pick them. And I'm not trying to sound cocky or arrogant when I say that. It's just and at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me and my family. You know, that's another hard part about it is like there's so many variables, such as, you know, you think that you're going to have, look at Amanda's, like, look at that, you know, you think you're going to have one thing, you think that this is going to happen, but there are so many variables that go into play. So it's really about what I think is going to be best for me and my family. And I haven't made that decision yet.
Yeah, of course. I wanted to mention the PFL because I think throughout the last couple of weeks, the PFL and what you've done there has been forgotten. But I think what's especially funny, not funny, funny is the wrong word, but perhaps interesting about the 2021 season is the PFL really added to their roster of big stars. They got Pettis, Rory McDonald, and Verdum is probably the big three. And yet all three never made it to the finals. And you, even though you were probably still the face of PFL through 2019, you remain the face despite these additions. So that kind of only have helped your star power, your growth, and your, what would the word be? Your negotiation power, if you like.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I kind of, I had that feeling, and of course, I want the PFL to be successful, and I want them to continue to bring in stars and continue to grow and expand and bring in more faces and this and that. I was a little salty when like other people started getting more shine than me, maybe, and maybe more shine than I felt was deserved. Yeah. That's just my ego. That's just the diva in me. Like, hey, hello, I'm still here. Yeah. But ultimately, you know, I want the PFL to be successful. My goal is, you know, never to be a part of something that sinks. So of course I want them to do great. And at the end of the day, when I was starting to get like, I mean, you just got to put your head down and work, put your head down and do the work, and your body of work will speak for itself. You will be so good that they can't ignore you, and you will, you know, stay true through to the end. So for me, I bet heavy on myself because I know I have what it takes. I know that I work harder than everybody. Like we said, you never know what's going to happen, but I'm going to bet on myself every time because I believe that I'm special.
I had the pleasure of working with the PFL and arranging interviews throughout the 2021 season. I did try to get you, Kayla, but I was told you were too busy, understandably. But one thing
you never know one direct message. You never know what's going to happen.
Correct.
I am too busy, but
well, of course. But one thing I did want to ask, and it's something because you participated in both seasons, is obviously there is the World Championship at the end of the line, but there's also the $1 million prize. In 2019, if you had a percentage of 100, what percentage of you wanted to win the world title, and what percentage of you wanted to win the $1 million? This is in 2019.
2019, 100 was to the title.
Okay. And how much did that change at all in 2021?
No.
Okay.
My focus is never, you know, obviously I want to make money. Obviously I want to secure financial freedom for my family and have that financial peace.
Yeah.
And I grew up very poor, you know, I grew up not very poor. I don't want to disrespect people who really, really struggle. But when I was 16, I moved to Boston and I had $250 in my pocket, and the rent was $500. So I had half the month's rent and I had to figure it out, sink or swim. So I've lived paycheck to paycheck. I've lived dollar to dollar. I've lived, you know, sneaking into the judo house's cupboards and like eating people's food in the middle of the night. They didn't know I was eating it. Not that they would let me starve, but I was just like, I don't want them to yell at me. And so, yeah, that financial piece is important. That's why I'm pretty smart with my money. I don't really live extravagantly, don't spend a lot, don't have a super fancy anything. And material things have never really spoken to me. Like, it's not a big thing. My coach said something to me one time when I was struggling, when I had no money, Big Jim, he said to me, you know, if you want money, win. and the money will come. And it's such a simple thing. And it's it almost sounds redundant to say it out loud, but it's a principle that I live my life by. I think that if I want money, win, and the money will come. And that's why I don't focus on the money, because the second you take your eye off the real goal, the real prize, the dream,
yeah,
the second you fumble the ball. So my goal is always to win, is to continue to be better every day, to continue to chase greatness. And when I do that, the money will come.
So when we're talking about these moves, and as you mentioned, nothing's concrete, but that's what this perhaps changing organization is about challenging yourself, it's about being successful. As we mentioned earlier, there can only be so many. Is that the essential goal of your MMA career?
What is this, and what's the goal of my MMA career?
Is the essential goal to challenge yourself, to be great, to be successful?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. My goal is to go down as the greatest. It's not an easy feat. It's not something that's going to happen in a year or 2 years. I think it's something that's going to take me some time, which is why I have to be patient, and why I have to take every step and not try and jump or run or fly. I have to walk there. I have to take it one step at a time, one fight at a time, one exchange at a time, 1 minute at a time, sometimes one breath at a time. And I think the way I live my life, not just inside of the cage, but like we talked about, outside of the cage, the legacy that I have, the way I choose to live my life, the choices I make outside of the cage are equally as important. And, the goal is to change the world. The goal is to make the world better than when I found it, when I got here, and to leave behind a memory and a legacy that will outlive me for many, 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 many years. I want to be a good person, and I want to be a great fighter and a great person. So those are the goals.
That's fantastic to hear. And one thing why I was so excited to talk to you today, Kayla, is I love how you speak your mind. I love how everything that you say, there is an intent with it. There is a sincere belief, and that's why I was so excited to get you on and talk to you. And one thing that resonates with that feeling that I'm talking about is the media call with yourself and Jenna Fabian back earlier on in the year, where you stopped the reporter and you really, for lack of a better phrase, gave him a piece of your mind. Have you always been that type of person? Is that something that's developed throughout your martial arts career, or have you always been someone who has said what they mean?
Yeah, I think that, obviously at 31, I'm a little more confident than I was at 16. Yeah. I also, it is something that comes with age and comes with gaining self-confidence, inner confidence. I used to be pretty insecure, and I used to be pretty, I would say I had pretty low self-esteem. So it's something that I've continuously worked on, and sometimes speaking my mind comes back to bite me in the ass. Sometimes I'm not always right. I'm not perfect. I'm human as well. I make mistakes. I say stupid stuff and do stupid stuff all the time. I'm a human being, and I have tons of character flaws that I'm working on every single day. But I don't think I consider me being outspoken not a character flaw. I consider it a good thing. So many people in this world are afraid to speak their mind, and I think that's why we have a lot of issues, and I think that's why we have a lot of miscommunication and a lot of fighting and a lot of, there's just so much drama in the world that could be easily escaped if we just all spoke our mind and said our truth. This is the number one thing how I try to live my life. When you stand in your truth, no matter what the cost, everybody benefits. So when you stand in your truth, no matter what, no matter how stupid you look or how much people disagree with you or how crazy you may seem, when you stand in your truth, no matter what the cost, everybody benefits from that. And I firmly believe that. And that's why I'll probably keep speaking my mind, and hopefully it's all pleasantly, but sometimes you gotta keep it real.
Because I think unfairly, some people have characterized you as being arrogant or cocky, and I don't agree with that. I would clarify it more as confidence, very extreme confidence in your ability. Is that a fair assessment?
Thank you. I mean, that's how I feel personally. I think that I think that the cockiness or the arrogance would be if I'm out here saying I am the greatest and I am, you can't touch me and I am unbeatable and I am unstoppable and I am, I don't think I'm the greatest yet, but I want to be. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having a big dream like that, I know that I'm not untouchable, but I want to be. I want to be unstoppable. I want to be unfuckwithable. I want to be the baddest bitch on the planet. Like, the baddest woman in any room. That's a goal of mine. That's how I want to be. And to say it out loud and to put it into the world and to manifest it is something that I have no problem doing. I do think you're right. Like, people think I'm cocky. People think I'm annoying. People think I'm over the top and I don't know. People think a lot of things about me, but I also realize pretty early on in my MMA career that you can't please everybody and that people are going to talk. And as long as they're talking about you, that means they're thinking about you. So you must be doing something right. And again, for me, most of these people who say I'm cocky or say I'm arrogant, they've never dared to live greatly. They've never dared to go out there and put that shit on the line. So their opinion of me doesn't really matter. Because if you're not living your life out loud, if you're not living your life to the best of your ability, and I'm not talking about just being a fighter or a superstar. I'm talking about like living your life with intent, living your life with intention, with having goals, waking up, trying to get them, maybe failing, but trying again. If you're not living your life like that, then you have no business commenting on my life and what I say and what I do, because we're not in the same stratosphere. We live in different worlds. You live in a world that's I don't even want to be a part of. So enjoy it. God bless. Have fun with it. But that's not my world. And that's not where I want to live. That's not where I choose to plant my flag. I'm going to dare greatly, and I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off while I do it. And that's okay. That's okay. And I think that I'm proud of that. That's something that I want young girls to, and boys, and I want people to realize, like, I'm not ashamed for people to think that I'm cocky or confident. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I want little girls to wake up every day and say, I'm great. I'm strong. I'm smart. I'm brave. I'm fearless. I'm unstoppable. I'm this. I'm like, I want people to believe in themselves that much. And if by me out loud believing in myself causes one more person to say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and get that job. I'm going to try and make that team. I'm going to try and get straight A's. I'm going to try and, get the girl, whatever it is, like, then I'm doing my job. I'm living out loud and I'm inspiring people. And that's really what this is all about, right? Like, I fight people for a living and I want to be the best in the world at that, but I want to inspire people to be their best selves. That's what this is all about. So I'm cocky. Get over it.
That was fantastic. That was David Goggins, like, Kayla, I must admit. I feel like going out and running in the rain.
Ready to smash through a wall? Let's go. It's Mako Mondays.
I did want to mention something then. You mentioned wanting to be the greatest. And there's a lot of different female fighters in different organizations, obviously yourself, obviously Cyborg Nunes and the like. Where would you personally rank yourself currently on the women's pound for pound list?
I mean, I don't know. There's so many great fighters. There's so many great fighters out there, and it's tough. I don't have an opinion on that. Okay. I think all I can do is just keep winning and keep racking up the W's and keep putting one foot in front of the other. There's so many great fighters. Yeah. It's tough. MMA is also an interesting thing where it's like, I don't know if there are any other undefeated female fighters. I think pretty much everyone has a loss. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, there might be one or two. I don't think anybody of particular note comes to mind. I don't think anyone in the top 15 comes to mind.
So I think that my goal to be Khabib like, is to be so dominant and to be like that is kind of a better goal for me maybe now than to. I need to beat this person. I need to beat that person. I need to do this. I need to do that. I think now my goal is I'm competing with myself. And I don't think I'm anywhere near close to my potential yet.
So. Okay. Fantastic. Well, I'll leave you with one final question, and this is going to be a difficult question for you to answer, given the lack. No, not a difficult. I mean, in terms of the lack of specifics, but I just ask for a more general answer. We're at the end of 2021 now, December 2021. Where does Kayla Harrison come the end of 2022? I don't mean organization. I mean, what do you want to accomplish in your MMA career in the next 12 months?
I got big dreams, baby. That's why my energy is different. I think a year from now, we're going to see, I think that I've been slowly building. I think that my star power, or whatever people call it, is slowly building. I think most of the MMA world knows who I am now. Yeah. I think by the end of 2022, most of the sporting world is going to know my name. I won't say the whole world, but I'm going to say that I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep climbing. I'm going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I'm going to be so good that nobody can ignore me. I think I'll have another 3 or 4 fights. And I think that I'm going to beat the piss out of whoever's in the cage with me. And I think that it's going to be a good year.
Well, that's a fantastic way to end. And I very much just want to thank you for your time and thank you for such an inspirational and motivating conversation.
Oh, no, thank you. It was a great combo. Thanks for reaching out. I'm glad that we made it work. Thanks for asking some good questions. And yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
That would be my honor. But before we finish, Kayla, how can people find you on social media, and any sponsors or any projects you're involved with? The floor is yours to shout them out.
They can find me on Instagram, Judo Kayla, Twitter at Kayla H. My website's KaylaHarrison.com. One thing I do want to mention that is would be great is my foundation, the Fearless Foundation. I think on Instagram it's fearlessfoundation.org. We have shirts and hoodies that are on sale at fujisports.com. Fuji's my sponsor, but all of the proceeds from the shirt sales and the hoodie sales go to the foundation, which is for survivors of sexual abuse. For those of you who don't know my story, it's a long one. You can read about it, but this is something I'm very passionate about. This is something that, like I said, outside the cage, this is what I live for, aside from my children. So please check out the Fearless Foundation. You can donate or you can buy a cool shirt. I like them. I think they're pretty badass. But check them out. Maybe you can buy some for a friend or whatever. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you.
If the champ says they're badass, then I'll have to have a look. But I can assure you that they are.